In the introductory lecture of this course, we learned that JavaScript is a programming language. But you need to understand that JavaScript is not just any programming language. It is an object-oriented programming language. Now, we will learn what is an object-oriented programming language in great detail in one of the future lectures of this course. But for now, just understand that JavaScript is an object-oriented programming language because it uses the concepts of object. So in this lecture, let's learn what is an object in JavaScript and how we can create and use them. Before that, in one of the lectures of this course, we learned that in JavaScript, we have 7 basic primitive data types. And these are number, bigint, string, boolean, undefined, null, and symbol. So any value which does not belong to these 7 data types, it is basically an object in JavaScript. For example, we have learned that a function is also a special type of value in JavaScript. Right. Now, function does not belong to any of these data types. So a function is also an object in JavaScript. In the same way, we also have a concept of arrays in JavaScript. And arrays are also internally an object in JavaScript. And we will talk about it in great detail in future lectures of this course. So in this lecture, let's learn how we can create and use object in JavaScript. Now, an object is basically a collection of named values. These named values are usually referred to as properties of an object. So let's go to VS Code. And here, let's say we want to create an object in JavaScript. To create an object, there are two ways. The first way is to use the object constructor. So what we can do is we can use new keyword followed by object and after that a set of parentheses. And this expression here, this syntax here, it is going to return us a new object. We can go ahead and we can store that object in a variable. Let's call this variable maybe user. Okay, so it is going to create an object, and then on that object we can set some properties. For example, we can go ahead and we can say user dot name equals John, user dot age equals 28. So here we created an object, and on that object we are setting two properties, name and age. Okay, so this user object, it is going to have two properties. The first property will be name, whose value is John. The second property is age, whose value is 28. So this is one syntax using which we can create an object. Another syntax is by using the object literal. So for example, what I can do is I can create a variable. Let's call it again user. And then to this user variable, I want to assign an object. For that, I can simply go ahead and assign a set of curly braces like this. So here, using these curly braces, we are creating an object and we are assigning to this user variable. So it is similar to calling this new object constructor. Okay, so here you can say that this curly braces, it is equivalent to new object. You can also go ahead and you can create properties on this object, just like how we did for the user object, which we created using new object syntax. So I can say user dot name equals something and user dot age equals something. Or what we can also do is inside these curly braces, we can specify key value pairs. So I can say name colon and then value for that name. So for example, John. Okay, so user object, this is our user object. In that user object, we have created a property name. Okay, so the name of the property is name and its value is John. And we are separating the property name and value using this semicolon. Now, if I want to add another property, I can use comma and then specify another property, let's say age, and then colon, and then the value for that property, let's say 28. So here, this user object, it has two properties, name and age. And behind the scenes, when we are creating an object like this, behind the scenes, it is going to use the object literal syntax. So what will happen is when this program will be executed, behind the scenes, it is going to create a variable user, and to that, it is going to assign an object created using new object syntax. Okay, and then to add the properties, when we are specifying this name property and this age property behind the scenes, it will be created something like this. User.name equals the value which we have assigned to it, and user.age equals to the value which we have assigned to this age property. So behind the scenes, it is still going to use this new object syntax and it is going to create the properties like this. But using this approach, we have to write lesser code. Okay, so to create a variable, we use a set of curly braces, and inside those curly braces, we specify the properties using key value pair. So here we have created a user object. Now, if I go ahead and if I log that object, if I save the changes, you see an object has been logged. In that object, we have age property with value 28 and name property with value John. And then we also have this prototype, which we will talk about later in the course. So in this way, we are creating an object where we have two properties, name and age. Now let's say I want to access this name property and I want to display the value of this name property in the console. For that, first I need to access the object. I need to use the object name, which is user. On that, I can use dot and then I can access any property which this user object is defining. In this case, we have name and age property. So let me go ahead and let me access the age property. And let's say I want to display the value stored in this age property. So if I save the changes, the value stored in that age property, which is 28, is logged here. In the same way, if I want to access another property, let's say name, I can access it using this dot notation. Okay, and if I save the changes, the value stored in that name property will be logged. So this is called as dot notation. To access a property using dot notation, what we do, we say object name, basically the variable to which we are assigning the object. So that will be the object name dot the name of the property which we want to access. This is dot notation. Then we also have square bracket notation. So in square bracket notation, what we do, again, first we use the object name, which is user. Then we use square brackets. In there, we use single quotes or double quotes like this. And then we specify the name of the property which we want to access. For example, if you want to access the age property, you can specify age. And this expression here, it will return you the value stored in the age property of user object. So in the user object, we have this age property, which is storing this value 28. So this expression here, it is going to return 28, and that will be logged in the console if I save the changes, as you can see. So we can access a property value using dot notation like this, or using square bracket notation like this. Now keep in mind that when you are specifying the property name, that property name must follow the same rule which a variable name follows. Okay, a property name also should not start with a digit. It can only have underscore or dollar in the property name, and the property names are also case sensitive. Now, you cannot create a property name where you will have a space. So for example, let's say I want to create a property full name. Now, this will not work. So in the property name, I cannot have a space. But if you still want to create a property where you want to have some space, you can wrap it within single quote or double quote. For example, you can wrap it like this. Okay, so now this is a property name. And then to that, you can assign a value. For example, let's say John Smith. And now if you want to access the value stored in this full name property, you cannot use dot notation, because this property name contains a space in it. So you cannot use dot notation. In that case, you will have to use square bracket notation to access this kind of property where you have a space. So for example, let me copy this line. And if I want to access full name property, I will use the square bracket notation. In there, in the single or double quotes, I'll specify the property name like this. And if I save the changes now, okay, here we have an error. That's because here it should not be semicolon. We can use a comma here, but we should not use semicolon. Okay, so like we are using the comma here, we can also use comma here, but since it is the last property, that comma is not required. Let me save the changes again, and now you will see the value of the full name property has been logged here. One more thing what we can do is, after we have created the object, so in this user object, we have three properties: name, age, and full name. After that, if I want to set a new property on the user object, I can also do that. So what I can do is I can simply say user dot, let's say gender. I want to set a gender property. So user dot gender equals male. Now this gender property does not exist on this user object. So what this line will do is it will add a new property in this user object called gender, and it will set its value to male. So if I go ahead and now if I log user object, I save the changes, you will see that an object has been logged, and there we have four properties: age, full name, gender, and name. So this gender property is also added on that object, on this user object. So after we have created the object and specified some properties, after that also if we want to add a new property, we can do it like this. Now if the property already exists, so for example, if I say user.age equals 30, in this case, this age property already exists inside this user object. So now what will happen is instead of creating an age property, the existing age property value will be changed to 30. So in this way, we are modifying the value of an existing property of this user object. Okay, so again for that we are using dot notation. So using the dot notation, we can access the property whose value we want to change, and then we can assign a new value to it. So now when we are logging the user object, there earlier the age was 28, but now if I save the changes, the age should change to 30, as you can see. So using this dot notation, we can also change the value of a property of an object. Then we can also use square bracket notation to change the value. So for example, I can say user, use square brackets. There I can use single quote to double quote, specify the property name. Let's say I want to change gender property. Okay, now gender property we have added and we set it to male. Now I want to change its value to female. So I'm accessing this gender property using square bracket notation. I'll say equal to, and then I will assign a new value for the gender property. Now if we save the changes and if we expand this object, there we check the gender property, it is female. So using either dot notation or square bracket notation, we can access the property and we can set a new value for it. Now, just like how we can add a new property using this dot notation or square bracket notation to an object, we can also delete a property of an object. So currently, this user object, it has four properties: age, full name, gender, and name. Now let's say I want to delete this full name property. So how can we do that? We can simply use delete keyword. So for example, we can say delete, and we want to delete user, and since we want to delete this full name property which contains a space, we cannot use dot notation, so we will use square bracket notation, and there we will specify the property name, which is full name. So what this delete keyword will do is it will delete this property from the user object. So now if I save the changes, here we are logging the user object. If I save the changes and if we expand that object, you will not see that full name property in that object. If I say delete user dot age, so here I can use the dot notation because this age property does not contain any space in it. Now this age property will also get deleted from the user object. If you save the changes, now you will see that this object has only two properties, name and gender. So in this way, we can also delete a property from an object. Alright, so in this lecture, we learned how to create an object. We can create an object using this new object syntax or using these curly braces. So this syntax is called as object literal syntax. Let me actually write it here. Okay, using object literal syntax, we can create an object, and within the curly braces, we can specify properties as key value pair. Then to access the object property, we can use either dot notation or we can use square bracket notation. If the property name contains a space, in that case, we must use square bracket notation. Then we can also change the value of a property by accessing it using dot notation or square bracket notation and then assigning a new value to it. Then if you want to delete a property from an object, we use delete keyword followed by the property name. And we need to access that property name using dot notation or square bracket notation. All right, so this is all from this lecture. In the next lecture, let's learn about method of an object.